Hello, Chibon here. In this video, I'll solve this compound interest problem uh, using TVM solver and also using formula as well. So this is the question about finding future value and the interest. So first part of the question is how much will you have in the account in 13 years? So you're looking for money after 13 years, so looking for future value, and also looking for how much interest we'll have earned. Notice that this is the compound interest problem. It says compounded quarterly. Remember this word quarterly. Quarterly is 4 times a year. So you remember that this is the chart in the book. You'll find it. Annually means once time a year. Semi-annually means twice per year, every 6 months, and quarterly is 4 times a year, and so on. So for each word, annually, semi-annually, quarterly, weekly, this is called periodic payment or called compounding periods. They have value for n. For annually, n equals to n. Semi-annually, n equals to 2. Quarterly, n equals to 4. So you have to look at the keyword here. Say compounded quarterly, then use n equals to 4. Okay. If the question says compounded monthly, you use n equals to 12. So make sure that you guys know this compounding period and the corresponding value for those period and value. Okay, we need those. So here the question: $4,000 deposit you deposit. So this is the present value. The present value is also called PV. Okay, in the TVM solver, I'm going to show you in a minute. Present value is PV, which is going to be in this question. Present value going to be, let's write down here, $4,000. Okay, 4,000 is present value. And now 838 is interest. So interest is I percent is 8, I value is 838. So but this is same as if you change this mixed number to the improper fraction, 8 times 8, 64 plus 3, 67 divided by 8 percent. Let's see how much that is going to be. I use a calculator here. 67 divided by 8, this gives you 8.375. this can be 8.375. This is I value in the TVM solver. Okay, this is the I value. Okay, this is the present value. That's why you need to put that here. Now we got to find the future value, so we use this future value. Therefore you solve this in the calculator. So since we don't have a PMT in this case, you just ignore that. We just put 0 for it. We use PMT next section, by the way. So now number of payment, that's very important. The number of payment is going to be n equals to n times t. Okay, so n is the compounding period. Since you have a quarterly, this is going to be 4 times t, going to be how long you invest the account, 13 years. 4 times 13, this gives you 52. Okay, that's the n value. So n equals to 52. And then now c slash y, p slash y, this comes from compounding period. Since n equals to 4, you can put p slash y, payment per year is 4, and c slash y, payment period is 4. So we use this information in the calculator called TVM solver. So here you go. So we have an n value equals to 52. We found it before, and I percent here is 8.375. 8.375. Don't put the percent sign. You'll have percent here. Present value, that's same as principal, which is 4,000. So deposited money. Don't put the comma. Don't put the dollar. Okay. Don't put comma. Don't put dollar in any numbers. Okay. PMT, we don't have to do anything with that. It's going to be 0 by default, or we can put 0 by itself. Future value, we want to solve this one, so I would click this eventually. P slash y, I said this is the 4 because of quarterly. 4 here, and c/y also 4 because of quarterly. Now you solve for future value. So that's what you get. You get minus of that. Don't worry about the negative. Just put positive $11,749. How many cents? This is going to be, remember that rounded to nearest cent. So this is going to be 2 decimal. It's going to be 41 cents. Okay, 41 cents. So that's the answer for future value of this $4,000. So $4,000 invested in 13 years with this much interest becomes $11,749.41. Okay. Okay. For a moment, you can check your answer if you like. So this is the answer. Now let's find interest. So interest formula is A minus P. Notice that A is future value, FB, also FB as future value, P as a present value, or PV. Okay, again, A is FB, P is PV, the same thing. So interest is going to be A minus P. So let's use the calculator to find the interest. What's the A value? This is the A, which is future value, which is, we found it before, 11,749.41 minus present value, which is principal, is 4,000. So you get 7749.41. That's the interest. Okay. Again, you can put comma here if you like, 7,000 as a comma. Also you can put 11,000 as a comma. That's fine, it still work. Okay. But don't put the dollar sign in the box, because dollar sign is in the front, in front of the box already there. So do not put dollar sign. Okay. Submit. That's how you do the questions using TVM solver. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to do the same questions using the formula. This is the formula here. The formula for the future value, or FV. Remember that in the TVM solver we found FV by solving using TVM solver. But here we can use the formula also to find the future value A, which is same as FB. Notice that A can be also represented as FB. Okay, so what's the formula? Remember that's the formula is this: P multiply with 1 plus R divided by N, parenthesis, N times T. That's the formula. So what I'm going to do is this: I put the its value here for A. I put the P value, which is 4,000. Let me see, 4,000, parenthesis, 1 plus R is 3.38%. Notice that 3.38 is 8.375%. 8.375%. But if you want to use it as a decimal, you move this decimal as a 2 decimal places. But notice that in the formula we already use the decimal value. Okay, not the percentage directly. But the TVM solver you put whole percentage, whole everything. But the formula you change this percentage to decimal, 0.08375 divided by what's the formula? Let's see, divided by N, which is N gonna be 4. We mentioned that quarterly. Remember that N equals to 4. It's lowercase n, by the way. Lowercase n, smaller n is 4, and to the power, remember, close the parenthesis. Okay, let me go back to the formula, and n times t, and you put this and the parenthesis in the top, and you put the parenthesis also in the power. Okay, because I'm raising the power n times t. N is 4 times, for the times here, multiplication, t is here 13 here, that's the 13 here. So if you use that, see, you get same number. See, $11,749.41. You see, the same thing. So doesn't matter, either use formula or the TVM solver is the same answer. again, is up to you. I did both way, and whatever you feel easier, you can use the method that you like. Okay, I think that helps you. Thank you for watching. Bye.